So, only half of us, but promise we're twice as large. So,
Just like the Mini.
yeah, just like the Mini.
Alright, so just to sum up, you know, what the brief wanted, what we're here to do, basically entice, amplify, and persuade. So our campaign is directly related to this.
Yep. So the first track we took, multiple ideas, so the first one.
So this is basically saying how like Mini Cooper drivers personalize their car, or their car is really a reflection of who they are or what they look like or what they like. So basically, the Mini is like a human or a reflection of a human. But many drivers, especially Mini drivers, wish their car was just another person. It's like your friend, it's there for you. So our idea is to create a campaign called Mini and Me. My Mini Gets Me. It's a direct relationship between you and your Mini.
It's great swipe.
And this is for MGA. So this would be specifically for MGA.
Yeah, so kind of pointing to the same facts, like we're already personifying our Minis like people that we love, or family or pets, so we might as well treat them like that and go on dates and go to drive-ins and spas. I think we talked about this idea a couple days ago as well.
That's great.
So this is how it would work for people that either own a Mini or don't yet own a Mini. So different things that you can do with your car and in a personified way. So like Maggie asked you guys at the beginning, can you guess what color she drives? Because it fits perfectly with her style. So a lot of people already do this with their car. If they have a red, black, and white car, they don't want to wear yellow because it doesn't complement the style of their car.
Right.
Same things with add-ons. So with this car, you can see the eyelashes and whatever furry animal is on top of that. But the person who drives that car probably styles themselves in a similar method. So they want to make sure that it's complementary to the car. And if you don't yet own a Mini, you can still do many of these things, or many of these things, but it would just be like an extended test drive in a very intimate way with that car.
Yeah, or you can kind of see or try to guess what your Mini would look like if you had one. So it's making that wish or that desire in the back of your mind.
And the second idea.
So the second route that we took is basically based on the fact that the Mini is small, but its personality and its charisma is really big. So we Mini drivers take a lot of pride in driving the Mini. And so size really matters. And yeah, owner flaunt their lack of size, but not their lack of style. So we created Mini Mania, Crazy About My Mini.
And just like we pointed out before, the obvious observation is that Minis are tiny, but Mini owners recognize that and they consider it like a huge asset to them. So to exaggerate the fact that they're so tiny, with Mini Takes the States, is along the route, we're going to have massive installations that make your Mini feel extra small. So very like Instagram-y type setups. And we can go through a couple of those. And then at the conclusion of MTTS, at the center of it all will be like a mini, extensively branded mini theme park. So these are some examples of different activations that have already happened, installations. So
but never all together.
Yeah, never all together and not on a big enough scale. So like this snow globe where the car is in, we want it to be bigger so the car can drive through it. And maybe it's for a brand like Burton. The Italian job was obviously a lot of product placement.
And then parades as well, going through, you know, just like Disneyland, but it's Miniland.
And how we would pay for something like this is not through Mini. So different brands would want to get the attention of a target market that specifically works for their brand as well. So Lego with a Mammoth Mini, Burton like the snow globe, like I mentioned, or Instagram with an organized group photo from above. Maybe a drone takes a shot of a bunch of organized Minis, the American flag, and Ray-Ban, an oversized Wayfarer.
And the third idea, last but not least, so many adventures. So Mini fits not a lot of people, but the people who fit in it are very important. So those people are very active in their lifestyle and they're very passionate about their Mini and about what they can do with it. So what we're basically doing is putting people together who are passionate about this Mini and passionate about making things together and giving them challenges or bucket lists.
Yeah. Because we found that obviously the more people
Yeah.
that have this mentality, if they hang out together, the more that kind of stuff happens. So a bunch of groupthink with some thrill-inspired individuals.
Like
In the
issue.
front seat.
Alright.
So that's what we come up with, mini missions. So drive more, do more. And this is a take on bucket list items. So you'll be able to connect and complete different missions with nearby drivers that are in your region or area. So attaching that groupthink into Mini. And different phases of how this would work. And we talked about Mini curated content for to-dos or different items. So we would start with Mini curated items that they can complete, bucket list items that we think would be really cool with your Mini. Whether it's like climb a mountain with your Mini, or do a drive-in movie, or drive in the snow, or do a donut, and then also user-generated registry of items that they want to do. We can pluck some of the best ones, some of the most requested ones, and pair them with nearby drivers. And then obviously Mini would want to document and produce this whole thing so it can be seen by people that were part of it, as well as people that may not have been part of it, so they can be inspired to be part of it next time. And just from an art direction perspective, Maggie had this idea to lay it out on a stick shift H. So obviously reverse would be first, and you get your Mini.
Yeah, you got your Mini, so that reverse is covered, and then first, second, third, you're like going up in speeds or level of adrenaline or like excitement for the stuff that you're making. So that could be a way to art direct kind of like the missions.
Good.
Some examples. So go off road or camp out or drive in the snow, take to the track. So some Mini racing routes there. Just a bunch of
Convertible
examples.
road trip. If you own a Mini that's not convertible, maybe you want to test a convertible one, go on a road trip.
Yep. That's it.
How
Yeah.
how do these like come? Firstly, this is great. Nice to have too. Like how does it happen? Like for example, like how do you start a mission? Where do you start? Is there is it a route? Is it open? I mean, how, you know what I mean? Like how does it? Can you take it one step down to reality of like what's a for instance like? You know what I mean? Like I understand the premise, but like how do you get people engaged in these missions? Is it like everybody together? Are they off doing it themselves? Because it feels like this is not necessarily like a routed route, right?
Yeah. So originally, can we switch this slide?
Yeah.
If you go back, yeah. So initially, like Mini sends out a curated list and then says like, what do you think? What would you like to do? And all of this conversation happens in social media. So the community feels like they're part of curating this experience. Then obviously like they vote or they submit other things that they can do with their Mini, and they can get as creative as like, maybe we've never imagined to do something like that, but a Mini owner who's very fanatic comes up with something. People vote, and then Mini creates the experience of MTTS with all this content.
Gotcha.
So giving the people what they want, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways to organize it. It could work through dealerships, through social, through email marketing, through direct mail marketing. As long as regionally it's set up so maybe we're in Miami, so maybe we want to go like cave swimming or something in northern Florida.
Gotcha.
So all the regional Florida dealerships are pushing this on social, and Mini corporate is pushing it on social based on where the users are located.
Gotcha.
So it's a whole cluster of
Yeah.
advertising.
That's why I mean I think that helps. You know?
Yeah, it's fine. And then I mean it could be somehow weaved into MTTS just because it's routed. So maybe it's like an initial step in your route from Miami to the end.
Because I almost feel like I think you guys did a good job like cracking like the MGA kind of approach, like giving that a theme, and it feels right. Like I even feel like this approach would be more doable for like the smaller getaways as opposed to like this is a lot of coordinating and 9 to 14 days of activities and to try to you know what I mean, it's just like a lot to ask for people and then to like analyze it and then put the thing together. But I feel like you could still do that approach where the community feels like, hey, Mini's listening, we're contributing to this thing, but they're more bite-sized and smaller, and you can do them, like you're saying, if it's Florida, it's like it becomes a Florida thing, and all of Mini, dealers can kind of participate, it's more local, as opposed to like, just, coordination kind of
Yeah, sure.
chat, that's a mission, that's a true mission, just coordinating that with all it, but I like the approach of opening it up to Mini owners, and it makes them responsible, and they're almost like, they're already ambassadors in general, but they're more committed to bringing people along and newcomers and prospects, so that's cool.
Sure.
Yeah. Right on, I like that lockup too, the circle.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah,
simple,
circles
it's
are
pretty,
Like,
it's
very
easy,
clean, very
yeah.
easy
So
to
drive more.
Driving the driver feels nice too.
And then the,
Yep.
What were the other taglines, the other ones?
Oh yeah, so these are, I
I
don't know if we discussed like what these are. So these would be badges upon doing these different events or
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would get customized.
whether they're like stickers or patches, but
It's kind of cool.
so they could be like customizable copy wise or just a bunch of different copy.
Yep.
Praise the Lord. On the other one. That my Mini gets me. Yeah, Mini and
Where's that image from?
Everything's Google, like nothing stopped.
No, I know, it's just kind of interesting, it looks like it was like an ad or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like totally silly.
Classic.
So this actually gave us the idea of one of the Mini and Me experiences is to kind of style yourself as you style the Mini. So all the like special gadgets and stuff, like
Yep.
the leather
Yeah.
jacket, like this
Oh,
belongs to a
sure.
certain type of
Those
dude who
goggles
drives a
with like the
Mini.
headlights, sort of.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Exactly. And then the girly, the one with the eyelashes and everything, like that's another profile of me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
totally
that's the same
different.
car.
So you can kind of
But that brooch feels very premium too.
Yep, yep.
The
Yeah, that
tonality
look,
of the
yeah,
image
feels
feels
right.
is stunning.
Right on, guys. Thank you.
thank
Yeah, of
you.
course.
You didn't need those other guys.
Won't tell them that.
I'm kidding.